Hello, and welcome to episode 54 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I'm Margaret.
I'm Jack.
And hi.
Hi.
What are you doing in my house?
Why are you here?
Help!
This isn't scheduled fun time. Now.
I'm sorry. We didn't plan what we were going to say for the intro.
And also, we got so bamboozled with which episode it was.
Yeah.
Because we put the wrong episode on next episode's notes.
Yeah.
So then we were like,
so
so what episode is this?
Listen, numbers, not my thing.
I think the Eldritch Podblast is renowned for its number keeping.
I think so.
I think this
people...
podcast is literally... It's actually maths education.
Yes, it is.
You can come here
and
and probably get a degree in math or a master's in maths.
A master's in maths.
Just from watching the podcast.
I think when people think of the Eldritch Podblast, they think mathematical geniuses.
They think good bookkeeping.
Yes.
They think like good preparation. Good preparation's actually quite good.
Good editing.
Fantastic editing. Always remember to put the inserts in.
You always remember to write the stops and chapters down. I can see it's up on your screen.
It was on the other tab. I promise.
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
Welcome.
Welcome back.
How is everyone? How are you doing?
Oh, welcome for the first time. If this is the first time you've ever watched the Eldritch Podblast.
Welcome for the first time.
To the first time.
Welcome to the first time.
Welcome to the first time.
Sit down.
54 episodes in.
Yeah, sit down and enjoy it, huh?
Yeah, enjoy yourself.
So, anything to update the people on?
Yeah, I guess. There's quite a lot.
Yeah?
Isn't there? I mean, we're playing a lot of Valorant.
We're playing. We're still on the Valorant hype. Once again, we can't. I personally can't do anything normally.
Yes.
So
it has to be in excess.
Exactly. So when I enjoy something, oh boy, do I have to enjoy it.
Oh, and the thing is, it's like for me, I've always quite like first person shooters. This is the thing. Like I've always been like I liked Apex. When I was a young whippersnapper, I played the first Call of Duty. I played Battlefield.
Yep.
I used to play Medal of Honor. I played Halo. I played it all, baby. I'm very into it. So to have Margaret finally into a first-person shooter, you better believe I'm taking advantage of this the best I can. Yeah. We play with some friends and it's really good. And there's always enough for like a full team most of the time, I would say. Yeah. And it's good. It's good. Well good, innit?
It's well good, innit? We I mentioned a few episodes ago we did our first competitive games at the end of season 6 and they were terrible. We did our first competitive games in season 7 and it was kind of just as terrible.
No, it was way better. We won 2, lost 3.
Yeah,
so it wasn't that bad. I was ranked lower than last time. Even though I definitely feel like I've become a better player since last time. You
definitely have. It's just we've just had a lot of losses. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So do you want to know what rank we're in?
We're in Iron 3.
We're in Iron 3.
I was in Bronze 1 last season.
To be fair,
so I'm one rank below.
I was in Iron 3 last time, and I was like, I'll be surprised if I remain in Iron 3. Like thinking I was going to go down.
You've gotten way better since last time.
Thank you.
I think you've gotten like way better.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel like I've gotten better, to be honest. Yeah, and it helps when we're playing with a group of friends who like are kind of around the same level, and we're all getting better at the same time. Yeah, you
can see everyone is progressing. Quite quickly, to be honest.
Quite quickly, yeah, I agree. So that's kind of all we've been doing with our life.
Yeah, to be honest.
Anything else?
We've been after like last episode and watching like all of the 6-month stuff.
Yeah.
And just like looking, I don't know, I feel like I've looked over this. It's made me like look at our achievements.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel like I've just like felt quite
content.
Quite I feel like humble.
Yeah, no, I agree.
At everything that we've done and everything that we've achieved. And I don't know, I've just been like looking over it and been like, man, like I'm just like a little bit flabbergasted sometimes.
Yeah, I know. Same.
Like what we've been able to achieve so quickly. And,
me too.
Me and Margaret have been talking about Patreon and things like that as well. So we really want to get that to you guys because we want to give you stuff that
we want to do because obviously you guys give us so much feedback all the time, which is amazing. But sometimes we can't really act on that feedback, for whatever reason. Like, let's face it, mainly because of the YouTube algorithm. Let's be honest.
The gods, the overlords.
Yeah. So we'd like to be able to do more stuff. We had a conversation with our mods the other day, and they gave us some really great suggestions,
awesome ideas.
some tiers. So that's definitely coming.
Yeah, that's sort of in the brain box now.
Yeah, that's next port of call.
That's next thing that we're going to get to.
Yeah, it is definitely. When we do, I don't know.
Fingers crossed before we get really busy with work in the fall. So
well, this is kind of the question, right? Because we also own small businesses. We have a small business called Hellbound Dice. Links in the bio.
Links in the bio. Get yourself a t-shirt, a notebook, some inspiration tokens.
We sell all sorts of like D&D related stuff. This is the I'm editing Margaret, put pictures in. We sell all sorts of D&D inspired stuff. It would, if you want to support the podcast, that's a really great way to do it. But if any of you work in retail, you know this, towards the back end of the year.
Yeah.
Let's say like going into November, then definitely through December and January. That's when it's the busiest, right?
Yeah.
So we get very, very, very busy around that time. So the question was like, do we kind of put ourselves through the ringer and do the podcast, do the Patreon, and do the Christmas sales and see if we can do it, like push ourselves through it and reap the rewards for it into next year because we'll have done it already?
Yeah.
Or do we wait until the new year when hopefully things are a little bit quieter for us and maybe we have a bit more time? But knowing us, I think we're just going to throw ourselves in at the deep end.
I think we'll probably do it, but I think you guys, obviously we've mentioned it so many times, like you would probably understand if we needed to like
take some time off. Of course.
If we just got too overwhelmed around Christmas, I understand that you would probably, because then when it gets into the new year, that's when I would, like after January, that's sort of when our quiet time is, so then we can bring it back up again. So I think I'm just, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
I've just been reflecting.
Yeah.
And been happy and been just sort of feeling a little, I'll say it, I'm going to say hashtag blessed.
Hashtag blessed.
Feeling a little bit hashtag blessed.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I'm with you.
What we've done and what we've been able to do. And
because literally because of
you all.
Like,
and
if
how
you
much
guys
seem to enjoy this podcast.
It
means so much to me.
If you weren't watching, if you weren't commenting, if you weren't liking, if you weren't joining the Discord, if you weren't interacting with us, we would just be screaming into the void.
Yeah.
So it's because of you we're at this point. Yeah. Like entirely because of you. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get that out of the way. That's just how I've been feeling, you know?
Yeah, good. Same. Looking back over the stuff makes you think. It evokes the emotion in the brain box.
It does. It does the happy brain box thing.
Yeah. I think really the last thing that I wanted to mention was Critical Role coming to London. I know that so many of you have got tickets for the show. We're probably going to go to Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Probably just on the Sunday to hopefully get to go to the panel that they're doing. Hopefully get some photos. Again, we haven't booked anything yet.
No.
We're probably going to have to get our shimmy on soon to do that if we want to. But yeah, we potentially might be at MCM Comic-Con in October.
Yeah.
If anyone is there.
If anyone's there, we can maybe sort like a little meet up.
Yeah,
little Squad Blaster meet up.
Yeah, a little hello. We'll
be like hello,
and
you can be like hello. But you can do whatever you want.
Well, yeah.
But that would be common courtesy. If I say hello,
you'd be like, get out of here.
Yeah. Hi everyone.
Oh
no! I was so close. It was 8 minutes.
Oh, you know what? I was like, we are so close to the 10-minute mark, but such is life. So yeah, that's it.
I did my best.
You did. That was 8.5 minutes, to be fair.
That's probably the longest time I haven't swore since
in your adult life.
Last time I tried to record the podcast.
So yeah, that's it. That's all. Bye.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Yeah, I hope everything's going well with you guys as well. I guess that's it. There isn't really much more to
We haven't been doing a huge amount apart from playing Valorant and chilling out.
We truly haven't. We really, really haven't. The next Homebrew Challenge goes live on lives? Goes live on Monday. Is it the
lives?
I don't know when. Monday the something. Next Monday. The Monday after this episode.
So
go on,
24th.
Monday the 20th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Monday the 24th, the next Homebrew Challenge will go live. We have finished the theme of Moon and we have moved on to a new theme that all of you voted on for. So 24th. Thank you. Thank you so much for always taking part in the polls. We really appreciate it.
The ring is very, very, very highly contested.
Oh my good God.
gracious
We'll
me.
talk about that more in the actual
Yes.
episode, so we're not
Some
going
amazing,
on now.
some fantastic submissions. That's all I want to say.
Oh my God.
Some very, very brilliant submissions.
Amazing submissions.
You're also creative.
So yeah,
Well,
the winner is going to be announced on next Thursday, like a week today.
And our new theme and challenge will be announced on Monday.
Exactly.
Oh my
exactly. So, shall we just get on to topic? 10 minutes. Wow.
10 minutes.
10 minutes of intro, and we're
Yeah.
getting on to topic.
That was like when we went over the old content.
Oh my God, I know.
That was like
We would spend like 4 minutes on an intro.
4 minutes max. We'd
Wow.
be like, oh yeah, well just quickly, and now we're like, bada.
Yeah. We don't really have anything else because
I burped. I'm so sorry.
it's all right. We don't do meme time anymore because listen, I loved meme time with everything in my body. We're thinking of doing it monthly. Shall we do a monthly meme time?
Maybe we could, if maybe we could ask a mod to try and like get them all together with the credit and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's not the problem.
It's the editing, isn't it?
It's the editing. It's the editing. So maybe we're going to do like
maybe
a
we just
monthly
get
meme
a
time.
meme time editor.
Yeah,
Just pay someone to just edit meme time.
Just edit meme time in. How about we just do a monthly meme time?
We can do a monthly meme time.
I think we're going to do a monthly meme time.
Is that what you want to do?
Yeah, I've said it about 19 times.
Is that what you want to do?
Is that what you want? Tell me. Now we're in a pickle, aren't we?
Now you point the gun at me.
Now, yeah. Now this is a pickle. That's what I would say?
Yeah, monthly meme time sounds good.
Yeah. R.I.P. meme time.
No, because it's monthly meme time.
Yeah, was it better to have loved and to have lost than to have never loved at all, you know?
You are a true poet.
Indeed.
I think that's the first time I've ever heard that, right?
What?
Margaret came up with
Oh,
that, right?
I did. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I did.
That's the first time you've ever heard it, and it came out of Margaret's mouth, right?
Entity, confuse them.
Confuse them. Bamboozle them.
Bamboozle them. So, yeah. Let's just get into topic, I
just want to tell you all right now.
Oh, my God.
You are all a bunch of fucking edgelords.
Oh, yeah. You know what? We should have expected this, honestly.
I mean, yeah.
So we put up a poll saying, what do you want the next Beyond the Character sheet to be? And Warlock won by like a staggering amount.
By like a landslide.
A landslide.
And like second was Artificer.
Yeah. Third was Blood Hunter.
And third was Blood Hunter. Why are you so edgelord?
Yeah, you're so edgy.
Why are you so edgy?
And I love that. I'm here for that. I love that for all of us, to be honest.
Are we all just brooding in here?
Yeah.
Are we just brooding? Is that just what we do? We just brood?
That's what we do. That's Eldritch Podblast, the place to brood,
The place
TM.
to brood.
Yeah, a brooding place.
I mean, me and Margaret are pretty brooding, you know?
Yeah.
We're quite dark and dingy and like edgy, right? Right? Right?
So today's Beyond the Character sheet is the Warlock!
The Warlock!
So we have changed the template a little bit from when we did the Druid. This is still a new series. We're still working out how the template is going to go going forward. I think the main differences are, in the Druid video, we went over some spells.
Mm-hmm.
I think for something like a prepared spellcaster, that's kind of relevant because you can change them out every day. For something like just a spellcaster like the Warlock, it probably isn't that relevant.
Yeah, there's other things that are more important in my opinion.
Yeah, like the Invocations.
Which is what we're going to go over.
Exactly.
And the Pact Boons and things like that. So
yeah.
we'll go over them in this. Thanks for voting.
Thank you so much for voting.
On all of our polls.
Yeah.
For the new theme, for if you wanted D&D 101 or the character sheet.
Yeah, totally.
And for who you wanted to see next in the character sheet. You've been interacting loads, so I'm glad
we really
that
appreciate
this episode is basically chosen by you.
Yeah, it is. And our polls go up on our Discord and they go up on our YouTube, and then I amalgamate all the numbers together, and then we ended up with to be fair,
Is this an amalgamation? Amalgamate.
To be fair, Ranger was super high up in the list as well. So
because we've got a bunch of gig chads who like to play Ranger.
Yeah, we do.
Ranger's base, best in slot.
Yeah, apart from Warlock.
Wow.
Anyway, the Warlock. So we'll just go. We'll go for the bottom up now.
We both played a Warlock as well.
Yes, I played multi-classed Warlock, so it wasn't like
You had such a great multi-class as well. You had Hexblade,
Swashbuckler Rogue. Yeah, and it was
so
popping.
Strong.
It popped
so
off.
strong.
And I really, really, really enjoyed it.
And I played a Fiend, then changed to Hexblade halfway through the campaign.
Yeah.
Which was super cool.
Yeah, and that was your first character.
Ever.
Yeah, that was your first long-term
Nefmeros.
character. Indeed.
Nefmeros.
So let's give you a brief overrun of what a warlock is. So flavor-wise, I've taken a little excerpt from the actual like D&D
book
from a book. So the flavor is they get their magical powers through pacts made with mysterious beings of supernatural power. I feel like that sums up a warlock really well.
And just note there that it says mysterious beings with supernatural power. Not evil.
Yes.
Just so everyone knows.
Not evil, just a supernatural power.
Evil.
Agreed.
And if your dungeon master tells you that, they're wrong.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Like, it goes without saying, you can flavor any D&D character however you like.
Yeah.
Even a fiend warlock doesn't have to be evil. Like, if you want him to be evil, go ahead.
Yeah,
like,
go for it. Like, if you want to be the edgelord that you were born to be,
then go ahead. Absolutely, go ahead.
As you are part of the Eldritch Podblast, and we only include edgelords here, then go for it. And also, this isn't a... this is how you have to play. This is like the only way to play. This is just like our top picks, our recommendations.
Yeah, this is what we would do if we were playing a warlock.
If we could build one together, this is how we'd build it.
Yeah, totally. So I actually genuinely feel like that sums it up really well.
Yeah, I agree.
Flavor-wise,
it's a gift.
It's a gift from... you have a patron. That's the biggest part of a warlock, right? Is your powers are not your own. You were gifted them by...
A gift, a blessing, a curse. However you want. You've basically been bestowed something.
Yeah.
From something far greater than you.
Whether you know it, whether you asked for it, whether it was forced on you, whether you chose
whether
it.
Whether you're homies, whether you have never spoken before.
Yeah, whether you're like mortal enemies for whatever reason.
Yeah.
There's so many options for your patron. So many, and so many ways you could have gotten your magic. And I think people think patron and they think like a god or a deity.
A demon.
Yeah, or a demon,
devil.
Yes, or like an archfey.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be any of that. It could literally be like your grandma, or it could be like your dead dog.
Is it arch or is it arch?
I don't know.
Because I would always say arch.
I used to always say arch, and then I heard someone say arc druid. Like I think I heard in WoW someone say...
The thing is, I think arc sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But I just say arch.
What do you think? Arc or arch? Who knows?
Vote now in the comments. Poll will be up.
So that's flavor-wise. I was going to say druid. Flavor-wise, a warlock.
Get the druid out your head.
Oh, I couldn't.
Why is that?
Because I'm a druid, mate.
What?
So, mechanically, what goes into a warlock mechanically? They are a charisma-based class. That means their spellcasting ability is their charisma.
Yes.
That also means that they're going to be better with things like persuasion, deception.
Yeah. It's a good face of the party.
Yeah, a good face of the party.
It's a very good face of the party because you are naturally going to want to stack charisma for all your spellcasting, your spell save DC for your attacks.
Yeah.
But that goes hand in hand with being good at persuasion, deception, intimidation, things like that. Things that make you a great candidate to do the talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. To do the lying.
To do the lying.
To do the I was going to say the insight. That's something completely different. Yeah. Yeah. So if you like that, again, you totally do not have to play it like that at all. You can play a warlock that is charisma based, but that's simply your spellcasting mod.
And they're quite shy, scared, anything. It doesn't just because like people always think like gotta have I've got charisma, I've got to be the face of the party. Charisma,
you don't have
I've got
to be
charismatic. No, it's like you can just have charisma modifier good for your spellcasting and play a shy person.
Yeah, totally,
something like that.
Totally. But if you do like being the face of the party, this is a good candidate.
This is a good candidate.
It really is. It's probably one of the best, to be honest. So we mentioned that they're spellcasters, and they are, but they're unique spellcasters.
Yes, they are. They are the most unique.
They are, especially in 5e. Going forward in 1D&D, things are changing, but this is purely... We think. This is purely for 5e. Mm-hmm. So you basically get, let's face it, you're really going to get a max of 2 spell slots throughout the whole game.
3 sort of when you get to like mid to high tier play.
Yeah.
1 for the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But for most of your warlocking career, you will have 2. Then probably 3 spell slots.
Yes. Yeah. Unless obviously your DM gives you some sort of magic item. Yeah. But the reason you have such little spell slots is because you always cast them at the highest level that you know. Yeah. So that kind of scales in a similar way to how normal spellcasters do.
So, when you get to 3rd level, when you get to 5th level, you get 3rd level slots. whenever you cast a Warlock spell using a Warlock spell slot, you cast that then at 3rd level no matter what.
Yeah.
So even if you cast a 1st level spell, you cast it at 3rd level, so it's subcast. If that, like, you will always cast at the highest level available to you to cast
at the time.
Yes.
And you get all your spell slots back on a short rest. That's kind of like the
gimmick.
That is the gimmick.
Selling point.
It
the
is.
USP
it
of
is.
the Warlock.
You're like a blaster in the fact that you get 2 spells or 3 spell slots. You cast them at the highest level. They're very finite, but you get them back after a short rest as opposed to a long rest.
So you just, if I was playing a Warlock, I would just make sure that because there are some groups out there that don't like to short rest, like, and that is a common thing that people sort of, I'm going to play a Warlock, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, cool. And then you finish the first fight, you've burnt your 2 spell slots, and then you're like, all right, can we short rest? And everyone's like, oh, no, I don't need it, let's just carry on. Yes. And then you're like,
yeah, definitely. That I feel like that is the only thing that holds the Warlock back, right? Is if your party is not willing to or not able to take short rests regularly for you, basically. So do double check that first and make sure you have a conversation with the DM to make sure they'll look after you.
Yeah.
You also, to confuse it even more, you do get something called Mystic Arcanum at 11th. Arcanum? Mystic Arcanum at 11th level, which means you can choose 1 6th level spell slot from the Warlock spell list. You can cast it once per long rest without expending a spell slot. And it changes as you go higher levels, but that's something for later on in the conversation, I think.
Yeah.
But you're a unique spellcaster, but a spellcaster nonetheless.
Yeah. When you get, I'll quickly explain it for you. When you get to 11th level, when you would, basically your spell slots stop at 5th. At that level, when you would get 6th level spells, you don't get to just cast your normal spell slots at that level.
Yeah.
You get to pick 1 spell, and you get to cast it once a day without expending any of your spell slots, and you cast that spell.
Yeah.
When you get to able to cast 7th level spells, you can change that spell for a 7th level spell, and then 8th level spell, then 9th level spell, and it just sticks as that 1 spell slot that you get to cast once per day at that level.
Yeah, exactly.
Mystic Arcanum.
Exactly, and that doesn't come back on a short rest.
No, that's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, and then finally, you also get something called a Pact Boon, and you also get Eldritch Invocations, which
Beautiful.
the Warlock is so versatile because there is so many different combinations you can do.
See, I would argue that they are not versatile.
Oh, do you think? See, I think they're very versatile.
At all.
Oh, fair enough.
I think they're really not. I think you get to do a couple of things like quite well with your invocations.
Yeah.
But I think, and the thing is, some subclasses really lean, like the Hexblade. There's some great stuff for the Hexblade, like Thirsting Blade and stuff like that. That's super great. But some of the other ones, after you pick the ones that boost your Eldritch Blast, it's like I get to like cast deck magic.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it makes them a little less useless outside of combat.
Yes, it means you can do extra stuff.
They aren't built for utility. They're built to blast.
They're purely really a DPS role.
Yeah, and then the invocations just give you some quality of life.
And there's 54 invocations, by the way. That's a lot of invocations.
Why is there 54 invocations?
So many.
Like, the thing is, some of them are dog shit.
Some of them are absolutely terrible.
I'm really glad to see that when we did the 1D&D Warlock, you can see that they've just trimmed so many of them out.
Oh my God. They've gone, look, why would anyone take this?
Why would anybody take Gaze of Two Minds the way it is? It's not good.
Yeah, I don't know.
But the new one.
But this isn't a video about the new Warlock. This is the 5e Warlock.
Go watch our video on the 1D&D. After this, though, stay here for now.
So, finally, what role... We've kind of talked about this. They fill the role of DPS.
Yes.
Like, you could maybe argue that in some cases they could potentially tank, like, something like a Hexblade if they needed to.
Like, this is the thing, though. With like, putting them in categories... It's like I wouldn't put the Druid, when we did our Druid one, in the tank because only one subclass
only one subclass.
And I would say that really only one can... And like, you know, with the Celestial Warlock, that one can heal.
Yeah,
I still wouldn't call him a healer.
Yeah, agreed.
They can do 2 things, in my opinion. They can damage.
Yep. Which is the main
thing. Yeah. And they can be the face of the pie.
Yeah. Agreed.
And I would say that they are probably one of the best. That and the Bard is probably the best of this.
I agree. That's also what I would say as well. So if you like just playing a damage roll baby, then...
I would argue that the Bard is actually better because it can spend spells to do like, to give them advantages in those situations.
Yeah,
which
yeah,
the
yeah,
Warlock's
yeah.
not going to want to do because then they've only got one spell slot.
Yeah, of course.
So I would say the Bard is better, but the Warlock is good.
Yeah,
at the face.
At the face.
At the
Got you,
face.
yeah.
Facing.
Yeah.
Face man.
Yeah, face man.
Face woman.
Oh. Okay.
Face woman.
So, shall we move on to kind of going into what to pick for if you're making a Warlock?
Yeah, let's do it, baby.
Or at least our suggestions on what to pick. So, let's get into the class. Now, they have
a
D8 hit dice.
Yes, they do.
I feel like quite a lot of classes have a D8
It's the most common hit dice in the game.
Yeah.
It's not quite wizard and sorcerer bad.
Yeah.
But it's not quite, ranger, paladin, fighter good.
Yeah,
so it's,
yeah,
it's in the middle, which
yeah.
I think it's sort of right where it should be.
I agree.
You could argue that it could get a D10.
Yeah. You have proficiency in light armor. You also have proficiency with simple weapons, and you don't have any tool proficiencies either. So when you start, you can choose from the following equipment. You can have a light crossbow and 20 bolts, or any simple melee weapon. You get a component pouch or an arcane focus. You can get a scholar's pack or a dungeoneer's pack, and you start with leather armor or leather armor, any simple weapon, and 2 daggers. So what we suggested...
I've changed my mind.
Oh, you've changed your mind.
I would definitely go with any simple weapon for the first one.
Yep.
I would go an arcane focus.
Yep.
A dungeoneer's pack, and then, the bit at the bottom is just you get that for free. So that's
Yeah.
I wouldn't take the bolts because you have Eldritch.
Yeah. Eldritch Blast is going to be your staple. It's the best cantrip in the game.
Die,
yeah.
You go to.
Yeah.
It's going to save your life all the time.
Yeah, so I do think picking a simple weapon. So if you're in a melee range and you need to get out, or you don't have the option, you can at least do something with your melee weapon.
Bonk. Give it a bonk or a slash.
You can do the bonk.
Or a stib.
Yeah. We also took a look at the difference between a scholar's pack and a dungeoneer's pack. Always pick the dungeoneer's pack.
Yeah, the hempen rope and things like that.
Yeah, like the tinder boxes.
Things like that can come in clutch when you need to climb something or you need to lever something out.
Yeah,
because it does actually come up quite a lot.
It really does.
Like the amount of times where I'm like, do you guys have rope? And you're like, oh, yeah, I've got this much rope. I've got this much rope.
Like I feel like a dungeoneer's pack is like the basics, obviously the basics for any adventurer. And we would always suggest the Dungeoneer's pack over that.
Yeah,
so
100%.
Yeah, those are what we'd pick out of all those options.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, you get 2 proficiencies in these skills, and you can pick from Arcana, Deception, History, Intimidation, Investigation, Nature, and Religion.
This is obviously completely up to you.
Yeah.
The backstory and stuff like that and who you are. But to me, I would always pick Deception, Intimidation.
That's also what I would pick.
Because, like, RP reasons and things like that. You can, like we said before, you can play the good Warlock, but a lot of times you just want to be a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
You want to be a little bit naughty.
You want to be able to do a little bit of lie.
So,
and you want to...
Deception and Intimidation are great for that.
I agree.
For social situations where you just need to, like...
I agree, and because you're going to be stacking Charisma your highest as well, Deception and Intimidation are Charisma-based skills.
So you're getting the most out of that.
You're going to be good at them.
Synergy.
Yeah, totally. And the way I personally play my characters is, I think about what I want them to do, and then I pick like the skill for that. So if I was playing a Warlock, I would definitely go down the charisma-based.
You're
route.
also like a really RP heavy person.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, and
exactly.
you aren't scared to try and intimidate.
No.
Especially Rayla. Oh my goodness gracious me!
God.
Like the amount of times you're like, can I roll intimidation?
Yeah,
like,
she does not care.
You love intimidation.
I do. I really do.
I don't think I've ever played with a person who likes to intimidate as much as you.
I do. I do love a little bit of intimidation. You know, sometimes you just got it. Sometimes you just got it. You know,
you just gotta scare them all.
Yeah. So those would be our picks, but obviously.
Rare.
You can pick whatever you want out of these. You can pick any skills that you want, but those are suggestions. So, on to the races.
Yes.
So, this is our top 3 picks.
Yeah.
Again, you can pick whatever you want, but these are just what we think synergize really well with them.
Good in terms of stats, good in terms of like racial bonuses and stuff like that. So, you can pick whatever you want, but these are our favorites.
Yeah, definitely. First one's a tiefling.
Come on.
Come on.
Not only for the +2 in charisma, +1 intelligence, good stats. You have like demons.
Yeah, you're a bit of a demon.
Sort of like writes itself.
Yeah, you've got like a little bit of demonic bloodline there, and I aesthetically love the tiefling.
And like when I see tiefling, I just immediately think Warlock.
So do I, actually.
I don't know. I think it's because the first
you played
one
a fiend
I played.
warlock. Yeah. And you know how at the beginning we were like, you don't have to be evil, and yet here we are like demons and fiends.
Oh, you don't have to. But what if you did?
But what if you did? What if you did?
What if you did though?
So, the tiefling. I think a tiefling is a great pick.
Tiefling is like iconic.
Yeah, it
Warlock
truly is.
icon, I would say.
I agree. Warlock
icon. Warlock queen.
Yeah. And this is a player's handbook race as well, so your table should
probably no way that you're not going to be able to play it.
Yeah, indeed. So, as Jack said, you get +2 in your charisma, +1 in intelligence.
Fantastic.
Great stats.
Yeah. Intelligence maybe not so much, but you know.
Yeah, the charisma. You get a speed of 30 feet. You are medium-sized.
Standard.
The languages you get are common and infernal. Pretty cool.
Infernal can come up quite a lot.
Pretty cool.
Which is good.
And then your racial traits. You have a dark vision of 60 feet.
Always good.
You get something called hellish resistance, which means your resistance to fire damage.
Yeah, you can play the variant tiefling, which we know. The beloved Jester Lavore played, where you would get cold resistance instead.
Yep. But the most common, I would say, is the resistance to fire.
Yep.
Fire is the most commonly used damage type in
5e.
Yeah, so it's good.
It's a great thing to have resistance to.
Yeah, my first character was a tiefling, and that really helped a lot of the time.
Same.
And then finally, you get something called Infernal Legacy, and you get these boons with it. So you know the Thaumaturgy cantrip.
Amazing.
At 3rd level, you get Hellish Rebuke, and you can cast it at 2nd level once per long rest. At 5th level, you also get the spell Darkness, and again, that is once per long rest, and Charisma is your casting ability.
Thaumaturgy, amazing cantrip.
Man,
there's so many fun things you can do with
I agree. I loved having Thaumaturgy.
It's a fantastic it's a fantastic RP and like trickery sort of thing.
Totally.
Like blowing all the windows open, snuffing out candles, making your eyes change colour.
Making your voice boom.
Like tremors in the ground. It's just so versatile.
It is. It really is. It's a great cantrip.
Out of like the prestidigitation and druid crafty things, I think Thaumaturgy is my favourite.
Thaumaturgy is also my favourite.
I think it is my favourite flavour cantrip. Hellish Rebuke, fantastic. Like to be able to get hit, use your reaction, not use a spell slot.
Do damage back at second level as well.
Blast them with like 2d10 fire damage or cold
nice.
damage if you are the variant tiefling. That's a great thing.
Pretty nice. Nice.
This level you get Darkness.
Yeah.
This comes into play later, but with one of your invocations, playing a tiefling, getting the spell for free, not having to spend a spell slot on it.
Yeah, and then there's an invocation as well. No, it's a free cast once per day. Yeah.
There's an invocation that lets you see Magical Darkness, which is just the most broken combo.
Pretty good for a warlock.
I think this is, first of all, flavor-wise, insane.
Agreed.
Mechanically, also really strong.
Agreed.
And it's just iconic.
It is iconic. It is. It truly is.
It's just iconic. Like, anyone who's first time playing, if you pick Warlock and you pick Tiefling, you're not going to go wrong.
Yeah.
You aren't going to go wrong at all.
Agreed. And that is, again, Player's Handbook. So
PHB.
The next race, this is a changeling. Now, this is from Eberron, and some tables don't have the Eberron books open. Yeah. Do double check this with your dungeon master first.
I think 90% of the time it's going to be a yes, but just double check.
Just in case. So you get +2, your skills are +2 in charisma, and you get to choose one and another.
I love that floating skill.
Me too.
The floating skills where you get to have 2 in your favourite, like charisma for us as a warlock, and then be like, okay, where do I need a boost? I'm going to have dex, I'm going to have strength, I'm going to have whatever I need.
Yeah, totally.
Being able to choose is so strong.
Yeah, I love that. Your speed is 30 feet, you are medium sized.
Standard.
The languages you get, common, and you get to choose 2 others. Again, awesome, more choice.
Go to your dungeon master and just be like,
what are the heavy themes in this game?
Common languages, common areas that I might have grown up near. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a great roleplay tool.
Yes,
especially
totally.
2 languages.
I agree. I very much agree. And then your racial traits. So the first one is shape changer, and I'd say this is the main point of being a changeling.
This is the meat and potatoes. The bread sandwich.
The bread sandwich.
Bread sandwich.
So as an action, you can change your appearance and your voice. You can determine the specifics of the change. You can change things like your hair, the color of yourself, and your gender. You can also adjust your height and weight, but not so much that your size changes. You can make yourself appear as a member of another race, even though none of your game statistics change. And you can't duplicate the appearance of a creature you've never seen, and you must adopt a form that has some basic arrangement of the limbs that you have.
Fair.
But your clothing and your equipment aren't changed. And you can stay in this new form until you use an action to revert to your true form, or until you die.
As a warlock.
Yep.
As a charisma-based class, as a potential face of the party.
As a potential deception
game changer.
Yeah,
Game changer.
That. Oh my god, the infiltration.
The infiltration
the
is
secrets.
and it's not even like it's going to just like wither away. In an anti-magic shell.
It's until
like
you
that.
die.
It's literally like a racial trait. So it's it's not going to get dispelled.
Yeah.
It's like anything like that. Your form just changes.
Yeah, that is
potent.
So cool.
Potent as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And like the blackmail you could do with it, like the information gathering you could do. Like, I think I love that.
I love it so much.
I love a changeling.
Yeah.
Watch me play a changeling next. And then finally, changeling instincts. You gain proficiency with 2 of the following skills of your choice. Deception, insight, intimidation, and persuasion.
So if you take deception, intimidation here, you can then take other things.
You can take other things with your class.
Like arcana or something like that. But I would probably take persuasion here and insight.
I would too.
And then take the deception and the intimidation from
That's exactly what I would do
100%.
as well. Because I feel like if you do want to play it as the face of the party, the charisma-based class, having something like insight, which is wisdom-based, but being able to get a read on
what you've done,
exactly,
like the emotions that you've invoked in this person.
Totally.
Like if you've intimidated and then go, can I get an insight check on this guy to see if like he's actually buying my bullshit, especially as a changeling?
Yeah, totally.
That's really strong.
Yeah, and persuasion as well.
Persuasion's such a great one.
Persuasion's a great one.
Persuasion, deception, intimidation as having proficiency in all 3 of those as a warlock, and then insight, and then being able to change your shape, and then have the floating skill.
Pretty nice.
That's really strong.
Pretty nice, I must say.
That's a really strong pick, I think.
Agreed. I completely agree.
That's a really strong pick.
Agreed. And then finally, we have the half-elf.
Yes.
Once again, a player's handbook race, so there shouldn't be a problem with it. So your skills, you get +2 in charisma, and you get a +1 in 2 others.
Potentially one of the strongest in the game.
Yeah, agreed.
For a warlock or a sorcerer or like a paladin or something like that.
Yeah.
Like to be able to get +2 in charisma and then +1 in 2 others.
Yeah. So it depends. It depends what's more important to you. Is it the buffing of the stats, or is it the racials you get? Because some could argue the racial... Well, we'll get into it. Once again, your speed is 30, you are medium-sized, standard.
Standard.
Languages, Common, Elvish, and you can choose one other.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
And your racial traits, you get a dark vision of 60 feet. You get something called Fey Ancestry, which means you have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. So that's pretty good.
Charmed is one of the most common effects in D&D.
Yes.
So being able to just be have advantage on it is so strong.
Yeah.
You might not be too wise.
Yeah, and you can't magically be put to sleep as well.
Yeah, you might not be too wise as a warlock. Some people like to roleplay that as like, that's maybe why I made the deal.
Mm-hmm.
But so to have advantage on it is very strong.
Yeah.
And not being able to put to sleep magically.
Yeah.
That's great. I don't think that'll come up very often.
Yeah, but when it does...
You'll be really glad.
When it does.
Yeah.
And then finally, you get skill versatility. So you gain proficiency in 2 skills of your choice. Once again, opens
nice
up.
Floating skills, floating...
Any skills as well.
Attributes, great stuff.
Yeah, agreed.
That's honestly my least favourite in terms of like the flavour.
That's probably my least favourite in terms of the flavour as well.
But mechanically, I think it's very strong.
It's very, very,
I think it's very strong.
So, yeah, again, these are just our suggestions. There's probably a million other combinations you could do.
Oh, there is.
Yeah, and custom lineages.
Tabaxi would be good, or something like that with
charisma
in there.
Yeah, charisma, the movement.
There's loads of good charisma-based ones, but
Totally.
I think they're the strongest, personally.
Agreed. And again, a couple of different ones depending on flavour, really.
Yeah.
So the next thing we'd like to talk about is backgrounds. So we said this in the last one. We'll say it now. And we'll say it
every single time we do one of these videos.
Yeah, backgrounds are something that we personally don't really use, but we know a lot of people do.
Yeah.
Now, backgrounds basically they give you a couple of proficiencies. They give you a couple of languages. They can sometimes determine how much money you start
or
with.
A tool proficiency.
Something
like that.
And they're, in my opinion, they're very heavily tied to flavor. So, for example, there's like an acolyte or there's a criminal.
Yes.
And
I think they're good. They're good tools if you don't have a backstory or you don't have like a idea of how you're going to play your character.
Yes.
To pick one of these and just be like, I pick it because I want my guy to be a criminal or something like that.
Yeah.
It's a good tool maybe for new players, but
Totally.
to me, I just say to my players, you get 2 proficiencies, you get another language if you want one. if you can tell me why you have a tool proficiency and it's a good enough reason, I'll give you it.
Yeah.
And you start off with some gold.
Yeah.
I don't need you to pick that because
Yeah.
I don't think it is actually like pertinent to the game.
Yeah, totally.
Personally.
Yeah, totally. And again, every single table will be different. Your dungeon master will be different. Your table will be. So do double check. But I think the best advice we can give is go for the things you want the proficiencies in.
The 2
proficiencies in. And don't let, if you don't want it to, the kind of flavor stuff weigh you down.
Yeah, if you like all the stuff from Criminal because it works perfectly with your character, it doesn't mean your character has to be a criminal.
Yeah, totally.
If you understand what I mean.
Yeah, totally.
You like all the stuff in Acolyte, but they don't believe in a god or anything like that.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
yeah,
Just take it if it gives you the things that you want.
As long as your dungeon master says it's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So it can go one of two ways. It can either completely shape your character, which is fine.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to pay attention to it at all.
No bearing on it at all.
Exactly. I mean, it's whatever's up to you.
Yeah, 100%. I agree.
So the best part is the subclasses.
And Warlock is amazing because in 5e it gets its subclass from level 1.
Yes,
which
it
is,
does.
Which is juicy, beautiful.
That's why so many people go into Warlock.
Yeah,
they just take one level in Warlock.
You just get so much from it.
Yeah.
Obviously, that's changing in 1D&D, but this isn't about that.
Yeah.
So, we've got 3.
We've got 3. We've got 3 suggestions, which are our favorites. And these are what we would always recommend people for flavor-wise, but it's completely your choice.
I'm going to say I don't think Warlock. Apart from there's one that's from the Sword Coast Adventurers, and it was called like the Undying,
or something like that.
And then they literally came out with another one called the Undead because it was so bad and they just changed it. Apart from that, there is literally no bad Warlock subclass in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
They're all pretty good.
I agree. These are our top picks, and the first is Hexblade.
Of course it is.
Of course it's Hexblade.
Who the fuck talks about Warlock subclasses and doesn't pick Hexblade?
Agreed.
It's just so good.
And, I feel like Hexblade is just really iconic as well.
It is,
like,
I agree.
I love the idea of a martial spellcaster.
Love it.
That's probably my favorite. Yeah. You get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Blade Singers, Swords Bards, Hexblade, Warlock, all of them. They're all just so fucking good.
They are. And
I love them.
Honestly, the multi-class I did of the Hexblade Swashbuckler, man, it was insane. It was really
so good.
Really good. So, what do you get for Hexblade? So, all the different warlocks have a different warlock spell list. I will put the graphic up here. These are the spells that you get. I won't go and read through all of them. I'll just keep the graphic up and you can take a look. If you could make a note of that for me, please.
Oh, yes, my job. Sorry about that. I was just so engrossed in the spell list.
So, the first thing you get when you take Hexblade is something called Hexblade Curse. Now, this is a bonus action, and you can cast it within 30 feet, and it lasts for 1 minute. It does end, however, if the target dies, you die, or you're incapacitated, and it comes back on a short or long rest.
Nice.
So, Hexblade's Curse, what do you get? So, you gain a bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target, and the bonus equals your proficiency bonus.
So good.
So you get to add your proficiency to damage, which is fucking really good.
So you go bonky with your weapon, and then you get to add your proficiency bonus to damage. Yep. So good.
Pretty nice. Any attack roll you make against the cursed target is a critical hit on a roll of a 19 and a 20.
So good. Especially if you're rolling with advantage, man.
Yes.
Oh, God. Like the amount of crits I got when I was Hexblade.
Same here.
Because we used to just flank, and I'd just be rolling 2 dice and 19 and 20.
19 and 20 counted. Yeah.
Mwah.
Feels really good. And then finally, if the cursed target dies, you regain hit points equal to your warlock level plus your charisma modifier, which is a minimum of 1.
Makes you nice and tanky.
Yeah.
Makes you nice and tanky in close range.
Yep, indeed. Especially, well, I was going to say especially if you're fighting one thing, because this can only stay on one. You can't jump it to...
For now.
For now.
Did we not talk about the spell list?
No, I just put a picture up.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think the spell list is that good.
You don't think the spell list to have shield?
You're not going to use shield as a warlock.
True.
Raffle Smite's okay. Branded Smite's okay. Blur's okay. Blink's okay. Elemental Weapons, terrible. Phantasmal Killer, good.
Yeah, Cone of Cold as well. Yeah.
Cone of Cold's good. Banishing Smite, that's good.
Yeah, I took Banishing Smite.
I don't think many of the smiting things are ever really that good because a lot of them require like concentration. Phantasmal Killer, Banishing Smite, and Corner Cold are good, but the rest of them... Shield's an amazing spell, but not as a Warlock.
Yeah, not as a Warlock.
I'm not spending one of my
true.
two spell slots to cast Shield.
Yeah, you're right. You know what?
I'm just not.
You're right. You're right.
Hey, look, I'm just not.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Yeah,
I don't want to hear it. You can do it if you want. But
Yeah.
I'm
Come
not.
on, get.
Get.
So, another thing you get at first level is you become something called a Hex Warrior. So you gain proficiency with medium armor, shield, and martial weapons. Wonderful. That's perfect. Especially if you're going to be upfront with...
Well, having a shield as a Warlock. Having a shield as a Warlock, being able to wear studded leather, probably have an okay dex mod. You're actually going to have a fucking chunky AC.
Yeah, you are.
You're going to have a decent AC.
Yeah, you are. You are.
Really good. Love that.
Yeah. And again, the martial weapons as well, more damage.
Yeah.
Real nice. And then finally... the influence of your patron also allows you to mystically channel your will through a particular weapon. Whenever you finish a long rest, you can touch one weapon that you're proficient with and that lacks the two-handed property. When you attack with that weapon, you can use your charisma modifier instead of strength or dex for the attack and damage rolls, and it lasts until you finish a long rest. If you later gain Pact of the Blade feature, this benefit extends to every pact weapon you conjure with that feature, no matter what the weapon's type.
So good.
So that's super important. To be able to use your charisma instead of your strength or dex, that's the most important.
And like, if you've got a one-target fight, right, and you're using your dex your charisma modifier for your attacks and damage, but then you're allowed to add your proficiency bonus on top of the damage of the attacks.
Yeah.
If you've got that one boss fight, every time you hit, you're probably going to be doing like a minimum of 6 extra damage in every hit.
Which is nice.
That's insane. And it's going to just scale with your charisma and scale with your proficiency, so it never like really stands still.
Yep.
It's so good. Like medium armor and shields, it's just so strong.
It is.
It's just
really is.
It's so tanky and so it's just amazing. It feels so good. It's tanky, it's strong, it deals loads of damage.
And I feel like it's so everything works together so well.
I agree.
Like it feels like, you just hearing that, you can see exactly where it's going, and it feels really good.
It does. It feels so good. Oh man. So good. I just love the Hexsplitters so much.
So at 6th level, you get something called a Cursed Spectre. So you can curse the soul of a person that you slay, temporarily binding it into your service. When you slay a humanoid, you can cause its spirit to rise from its corpse as a spectre. When the spectre appears, it gains temporary hit points equal to half your warlock level. Roll initiative for the spectre, which has its own terms, and it obeys your verbal commands, and it gains a special bonus to its attack rolls equal to your charisma modifier, and then the spectre remains in your service until the end of your next long rest.
Like
this? Yeah, the actual stat block of a spectre. So I'll put the stat block up here on screen. I don't actually have the stat block in front of me, so I don't know what it is.
I've got it up. Give me a second.
But I think it has something like 34 hit points. It has something like a 16 AC, doesn't it?
Like, the thing is, when I was looking through it, I was like, this is that ability that nobody ever uses because it's not that good. I looked at it. Right, so what was it? Read that again. Like, the bit about its AC and temporary hit points.
It just gains temporary hit points equal to your warlock level when it arises.
You get this at 6th level?
Yes.
Okay, so it has 22 hit points itself.
Yep.
Plus 6.
Yep.
So that means it's going to have 20 hit points. It's got a 12 AC. And it gains a bonus to attack and damage, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Yeah. Equal to your charisma roll.
So your charisma roll, like if your charisma's like a +4,
I know.
Got a +4.
I know.
It can have a +8, and it does 3d6 necrotic damage. And then if it fails on a DC 10 Constitution saving throw, its maximum hit points are reduced as well.
Yeah.
Like, and do you want another thing that's the most bonkers about it? Tell me there where it says what part of your action economy it takes.
Yes, this is what we didn't know, because it just says you can, when you slay a humanoid, you can cause its spirit to rise from its corpse. It doesn't say anything about what you use to do it.
You just wail on one thing in combat, kill it, and then just rise the spectre up free.
Yeah. Like it doesn't say.
It's gonna have 28 hit points, 12 AC. It's got a decent attack. Like that
for free. You can do it for free.
For literally
nothing.
Doesn't say that you can't do it another time. Oh no.
It's until the end of your next long rest.
Like,
yeah.
No reaction. No bonus action. No action.
You can just do it.
It just does it, and then it just kills shit.
I don't see any reason as to why you wouldn't.
Why you would
honestly,
not. Like, as soon as I kill something, I'm using this.
Oh yeah,
like,
it has to be a humanoid, granted.
Yeah.
But still, why wouldn't you use it?
It's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
3d6 necrotic damage, and then a maximum hit point reduction if they fail a DC 10. I mean, DC 10 Constitution save.
Yeah.
Most things are going to succeed, but still, they take the damage.
Yeah. If anyone knows, if maybe we've read this wrong and it does take some form of action, let us know. But from what I could see from the actual...
Even if it used my reaction, I would do it. Even if it used my bonus action, I would do it.
So would I.
I may not do it if it used my action.
No, I would as a bonus action.
I would 100% do it as a bonus action.
Definitely.
My God, that's so strong.
So at level 10, you get something called Armor of Hexes. Your hex grows more powerful. If the target cursed by your Hexblade curse hits you with an attack roll, you can use your reaction roll to roll a d6. On a 4 or higher, the attack misses you regardless of its roll.
What?
That's
the
insane.
Fuck.
That is insane.
What the fuck?
Imagine that on a boss fight.
But the thing is, you just every single time you get hit.
Oh my God.
Every time you get hit, you just roll a dice.
Wild.
And that misses.
Wild. Insane.
Is it a 4 and above?
Yeah, 4 and above. A
4,
4 or
5,
higher.
and a 6.
Yeah. There's a 50% chance it's not going to hit you.
50% chance it's not going to hit you.
Insane. That's insane. And that's at 10th
ridiculous.
level as well. Like, you're probably going to get to 10th level.
I mean, like, yeah, it is like if the target of your Hexblade's curse. But like you said, if you're just fighting
on a boss fight,
or like there's something that you are clearly like in combat with while other things are doing, you just be like, okay, Hexblade's curse.
Yeah.
Misses me. It misses me.
Insane.
Just
insane.
So good.
That is wild. I love that. That is great.
Tanky.
That's awesome.
Tanky.
Yeah, I love that.
To just like to have it just miss.
Yeah, totally. And
so
then
good.
Finally, what you get at 14th level is something called Master of Hexes. You can spread your Hexblade curse from a slain creature to another creature. When the creature cursed by your Hexblade curse dies, you can apply the curse to a different creature you can see within 30 feet of you, provided you aren't incapacitated. When you apply the curse in this way, you do not regain hit points from the death of the previously cursed creature. So yeah, you can move it at 14th level.
I always thought that this should be better.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like that's...
Like, it's good. It's good. Like, and I'm glad I have it, but like, I just...
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
I'm with you. I'm with you. It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's fine.
Like, it's more value, which is great. And,
Yeah.
there's nothing more devastating than being like, okay, I Hexblade curse this one, and then everyone goes up and just wrecks that monster.
Yeah,
it
totally.
dies, and then
I agree.
the Hexblade curse is gone.
I completely agree.
That feels bad. So it does avoid that, but also it avoids that at 14th level.
Yeah.
That good.
Yeah,
I think it could be. I think that could be better.
I agree.
But the rest of the subclass is so good. I cannot complain.
Very, very much
I'm
agreed.
not complaining.
Yeah, agreed. So that's the Hexblade.
Hexblade.
That's our first suggestion.
Good. That is my top pick.
Yeah,
I'll be honest.
I completely agree.
We both love spell swords.
Yes.
Gish characters.
Very much so.
So this is always going to be top of our list, and it doesn't help that it's so strong.
Yeah, completely.
So,
completely.
Like it was always going to be there.
Yeah. So the next one is the Genie subclass.
Yes.
I didn't really know much about the Genie subclass until we looked at it, and I actually really, really, really love this.
I think it's really great. It's packed of flavor.
Yeah, agreed.
And, like, it's maybe not the most absolute bonkers class, but I think everything it gets is strong.
Yes.
And
yeah.
Personally, I think it's really good.
So there is a spell list now. There is 4 different types of genie that you can is your patron. They are the Dio, the Genie, the Ifriti, and the Marid. And these are all the spells. We won't go through all the spells out loud.
Some fantastic spells.
Yeah, some really, really, really good spells.
I don't think
there.
there's one there that I'm like, that's rubbish. Like, I think all of them are good. And the thing is, you get genie spells no matter what.
Yeah.
And then you get an extra spell list for each one, which is so good.
Agreed. Do you mind making a note of?
Yes. Of course, I was doing that.
Yeah, you were. Have you been making notes of when we're going through like all the different chapters as well? Okay.
Which bit? What do you mean?
That's all right.
Which bit? I don't understand what you
that's
mean.
Fine. That's all right. No, don't worry about it. No, if you don't know, don't worry about it. It's all right. It's fine.
Oh no.
Cries in editing.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'll try my best.
It's fine. It's fine. So the genie spell list really good. Again, I would say pick the spell list you like the most and go with that page.
Yeah. I'll pick the one that's good. Like the thing is with them, it's like the Marid is a like watery elementally thing.
Yes, the Afriti is a fire.
Yeah, so
the
it's
genie,
like go with the one that also flavors you because all of them are.
Yeah, totally.
So, pick the one that you like the most.
So at first level, you get a genie's vessel. The vessel is a tiny object, and you can use it as a spellcasting focus for your warlock. They do give you an option, so you can either choose how it looks, or you can roll on the genie vessel table, and it will tell you.
Flavor.
And you can do it like that. I love that. I love it when it gives you options to roll for things.
Because even if you don't take them, it's like, oh, this is what they mean. Like, okay, that sort of inspires like this. Like, are you just a message in a bottle.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
What do you want to be?
Absolutely.
Do you want to be an urn of some like long lost lover or something like that?
Yeah. Are you like in a locket of a lover? Are you?
Are you literally just going tradition?
Totally.
Being an oil lamp.
Yeah.
Someone can rub it and you come out.
Yeah, you a rabbit's foot. Are you a lock of hair? Like I love
so,
that.
Like it's all about like trinkets. And
Totally.
I love that.
I love that too.
So flavorful.
So there is actually kind of a lot to do with the vessel, so I will try to get through it as succinctly as possible.
Is this what you mean?
Yes.
Okay, well, I just put genie vessel there.
Perfect. That's perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
I was thinking more like if we talk about the hexblade, you write hexblade. If we talk about the genie, you write genie.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, bottled respite. As an action, you can magically vanish and enter your vessel, which remains in the space you left. The interior of the vessel is an extra-dimensional space in the shape of a 20-foot radius cylinder, and it's 20 feet high, and it resembles your vessel. It's cozy, comfy inside. While inside, you can hear the area around your vessel as if you were in its space. And
Very
you can
good.
remain in the vessel up to a number of hours equal to twice your proficiency bonus. You exit the vessel area early if you use a bonus action to leave, if you die, or if the vessel is destroyed. When you exit the vessel, you appear in an unoccupied space closest to it. Any objects left in the vessel remain there until they're taken out or until it's completely destroyed. And if it is destroyed, all the objects in there harmlessly appear in an unoccupied space. Once you enter the vessel, you can't enter again until you finish a long rest. It's a lot of information, I know.
So much information.
And you know what? It's a lot of information because I feel like it's so specific as to what you can do, what you can't do,
and I think
what's in there, what happens.
I think that's very important
I do
because
too.
I think this could be heavily abused.
Oh my God. Imagine, the fact that it's only once per long rest. Imagine being able to, in combat, just piss off into your vessel for a little bit.
Well, yeah, but you can.
Yeah.
But you can only be there for a number of hours equals to that. And
Yeah.
You know, the thing I love about this, not only, being able to pop into your vessel
just to be
like
able
a
to-
genie.
Yeah, and it's all comfy and cozy. In there as
and
well.
there's like pillows and it's lonely.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
do you know what
yeah.
I can just imagine, those like shishas.
Yeah,
And you can
yeah.
just pick it up and just have like a little shisha
Totally.
smoke or something like that. I love the theme of that. I think
Me
it's
too.
amazing.
I do
think
as
it's
well.
beautiful. But also, you can hear the area around the vessel as if you were in that space.
Imagine that once again for intel gathering.
Imagine planting this
Yep.
near your bad guy,
Yep.
very obviously, and then they pick it up and then they take you home
Yep.
or something like that. And then you, like maybe at later levels, you get some intel.
Yep.
You pop out, and as soon as you pop out, you dimension door away or something like that, and you've gathered the intel.
Yep. There is so many options.
It's just like maybe we want to get maybe we're resting in a tavern.
Yes.
And I'm like, let me just sort of hear the general vibe of the town.
Yeah.
One of the people goes up to the bar and leaves like the vessel on there, and then they just like get to hear what the barkeep's talking about.
Totally.
So it's just I think it just like enables such fantastic roleplay and such
Agreed.
creativity.
Especially because it's tiny. It's
Exactly,
tiny as well.
Just like a dice or something like
tiny.
that. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna leave that there, mate. And then you walk away,
Yeah.
and then they're hearing everything being said.
Insane.
I just think
I love that.
I just think it's so amazing for
Agreed.
roleplay.
I absolutely.
And also, you get to be in there and get away
Yeah,
from
yeah,
danger.
yeah, yeah,
It can be
yeah.
mechanically used very
Yeah.
well as well.
And you know what? In later levels, you get to do more with it as well. So, also at first level, you get something called Genie's Wrath. So, once during each of your turns when you hit with an attack roll, you can deal extra damage to the target equal to your proficiency bonus. This type of damage is determined by your patron. So, it's bludgeoning for Dow, thunder for Genie, fire for Ifriti, or cold for Mareed. And the vessel's AC equals your spell save DC. Its hit points are equal to your warlock level plus your proficiency bonus and is immune to poison and psychic damage. And finally, if the vessel is destroyed or you lose it, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from your patron. This ceremony can be performed during a short or long rest, and the previous vessel is destroyed if it still exists, and the vessel vanishes in a flare of elemental power when you die.
So good.
The fact that you can sit down for an hour
And just
get it
another one
back.
Yeah. It's so you can be a little bit more reckless with it because
Totally.
you can get it back,
Yeah,
which I think is
totally.
good. Do you want to know what? Like my mind. So basically, here's the beauty of it. Genie's Wrath.
Yep.
Okay. You can add your proficiency bonus. So that means you've just freed up an invocation because you don't need to take Repel and Blast.
Yep.
Because that means it works for your Eldritch Blast and every other damaging spell that you do as well. Amazing. Bludgeoning damage. Now you take Crusher.
Pretty good.
Now you just start pushing things with your Repelling Blast and your Crusher feat. So now you can push things like 15 feet on your turn.
I fucking love all the Crusher Piercer and all those feats as well.
Come on.
Like, there is so many amazing combos with this. Like, so many.
Like, that's it. Like, my mind races with the combos as soon as I hear that. As soon as I hear bludgeoning damage.
Totally.
Oh, God.
Totally.
Man.
So at 6th level, you get something called Elemental Gift. You now have resistance to the damage type determined by your patron's kind. And in addition, as a bonus action, you can give yourself a flying speed of 30 feet that lasts for 10 minutes, during which you can hover. You can use this as a bonus action a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and you regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. Flying at 6th level.
Flying at 6th level.
Pretty nice.
It's so strong. And it's not even just like you get to fly once. It's like you
equal
get
to your
fly...
proficiency bonus. What's your proficiency bonus at 6? Like
3?
3?
3?
3 times per long rest you can fly. That's
for 10 minutes.
That's nice.
That's so strong.
Especially it says you can hover. So you hover, so you completely avoid like difficult terrain. You avoid like any like surface area effects.
Yeah.
And you can fly.
You can fly.
I
just like the resistance to damage is great.
Yeah.
Especially if you get bludgeoning.
Yeah.
Like, well, bludgeoning is actually probably the least of the bludgeoning pieces.
It is actually, yeah. But fire.
Thunder, fire, and cold is great.
Yeah.
But the thing is, that flying is just so
awesome.
strong.
It's 6th level.
No concentration fly.
Yep.
Like...
insane.
You don't have to worry about going too high up or something like that in case you lose concentration.
And it lasts for 10 minutes. It's not just combat based. That's insane. That's
insane.
Incredible.
Like, fly speeds are just so strong.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, like I always say, like the wizard gets it at like 5th level, but they have to concentrate on it. They don't.
That's insane.
That's so good.
And proficiency bonus.
Bonus, like, and it's just gonna get better. You're just gonna get more. Oh man.
So at 10th level, you get Sanctuary Vessel. Bottled. This is an improvement on your Bottled Respite feature. So you can now choose up to 5 willing creatures that you can see within 30 feet of you, and the chosen creatures are drawn into the vessel with you. So you can bring your party.
Yeah, your party's going
into the vessel with you.
Unless you've got a really big party, which I would say most parties are like 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
And you know, that is literally exactly how many you need.
Yeah.
Up to 5 willing creatures.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's so strong.
And as a bonus action, you can eject any number of creatures from the vessel, and everyone is ejected if you leave or die or if the vessel is destroyed. In addition, anyone, including you, who remains in the vessel for at least 10 minutes gains the benefit of finishing a short rest. And anyone can add your proficiency bonus to the number of hit points they regain if they spend any hit dice as part of a short rest there.
10-minute short rest?
10-minute short rest for a warlock?
10-minute short rest for the entire party.
Oh.
For the warlock, it's great.
Man.
For monks, it would be great. Like, if to be like, oh, we can't really afford to do an hour.
Yep.
Don't worry, it's okay. We'll just do 10 minutes and we'll be hidden in my thing.
Man. Insane.
Let's just hide it really well in this room, in this dungeon, and just jump in it. We can hear if anybody comes near. I can eject us if we absolutely need to. 10-minute short rest. And everyone gets to add extra to their hit dice.
Yeah, they get to add your proficiency bonus
to
at 10th
every
level.
hit dice
Is it
they
4?
roll.
Is it 4 at level 10? I think it goes up at 9, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it is. It is
yeah, so an extra 4 to their hit dice. So the hit dice, they're getting the con and they're getting your proficiency bonus. That's insane.
It's so good.
That's really good.
I just love it, and it's not all about like the thing I love about the subclass. It's not all about like, oh, it does this much damage.
Yeah.
It's like it's flavoursome.
Yep.
It helps the party.
Yep.
The flying's great.
Yep.
Like it's just so creative. I feel like somebody who likes to think outside the box would pick this and just have the best.
Oh my god!
Time
Agreed.
ever.
Agreed.
I love this subclass. Do you want to know what? As I'm reading it, I'm like, is this?
I know. This
is
is exactly what we did when we went
so
through it.
So good.
And finally, at level 14, you get something called Limited Wish. As an action, you can speak your desire to your genie's vessel, requesting the effect of one of the spell that is 6th level or lower and has a casting time of 1 action. The spell can be from any classed spell list, and you do not need to meet the requirements in that spell, including costly components. The spell simply takes effect as part of this action. Once you use this feature, you cannot use it until you finish 1d4 long rests.
Fucking come on.
Man!
Like, the thing is, everyone knows the Warlock has little spell slots.
Yeah.
So, like,
yeah.
at this level, you will have your Mystic Arcanum.
Yes, you will.
And it is either this level or next level or something like that, but it goes up to the 7th level one.
Yes, yeah.
So you would have like a 7th level spell that you can cast once per day. You would have a 6th level or lower that you can cast.
Any spell list as well.
From
any spell list.
You can just fucking revivify.
Yeah, because it's 6th level or lower.
Oh, let's just say, we ran out of diamonds. It's okay. I'll just cast Revivify.
I can do a free Revivify.
Just so, and it's like, and it's just like, it's so thematic. Limited wish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what genies are known for. Like, the wishes. And to be able to like fulfill that fantasy of being like, oh yeah, I can do that for you. Don't worry about it.
That's awesome.
It's so good.
14th as well. I love that. Like, compare that to like the Hexblade's 14th
that
as well.
That is so much better.
Completely agreed.
No spell components.
Yep.
Any
and
spell
it just
list.
Takes effect.
And as long as it's one action.
Yeah.
It's just so good.
Nice. That's the genie.
1d4 long rest isn't even that crazy.
No, it really isn't. It really isn't.
And it's for like those big moments.
Yeah, it is,
like,
totally.
You know those moments where you're like, man, I just wish I had this spell.
Yep.
Well, don't worry, because you can have any.
Yeah.
You can just have any spell for that moment.
Nice.
So good.
Real nice.
Love
I'm a big fan of the genie.
I am a huge fan of the genie.
Huge fan of the genie.
I actually think here it is. I'm going to say it. I like it more than Expert.
Wow.
I actually genuinely do.
I like the flavor of it more. For me personally as a player, I prefer the Hexblade, but I love this. This is so flavorful.
Love it. I just love it so much.
Love it.
Love it.
Oh, so
play genie.
The last subclass.
Yeah.
It's got to be the Fiend, doesn't it?
It's got to be the Fiend.
It's got to be the Fiend.
Again, just a little bit iconic. I think.
A little bit iconic.
I just think it's a little bit iconic.
Yeah.
And I think I picked this one as well. The Hexblade is a little niche, like, because you want to be a spellcaster that can use a sword as well. Like, not everyone's going to want to do that. The genie is good, but I don't think it's good for a new player.
Yeah.
I do think it's a little more complicated.
Yeah.
This is, I would say, quite strong.
Yep.
And simple as fuck.
Yep.
And it just does what it does really well.
Yep. Agreed. Very much agreed. So, the Fiend, this is the expanded spell list.
Expanded spell list.
Once again, we won't go through it. I think this is a really, really good spell list,
I mean,
though.
It gets Fireball, so...
Yeah, so there you go.
You know, it's good.
So there you go.
Wall of Fire, also good.
Yeah, Scorching Ray and Command as well.
Just
nice.
Good. They're just all good.
Yeah, nice, flavorful spells that go well with the genie.
Yeah.
The genie with a Fiend. I got genie on the brain.
Cancel it now.
So the Fiend. So you get, first level, you get Dark One's Blessing. When you reduce a hostile creature to 0 hit points, you gain temporary hit points equal to your Charisma Fire plus your Warlock's level.
Charisma Fire?
Is that what I said?
Charisma Fire?
Yeah, Charisma Fire.
That's it. I'm going to start using that.
My Charisma Fire.
Can you just roll me a d20 and add your Wisdom Fire? Your Intelligence Fire?
Yeah. So, yeah. What do you think?
I think it's like when you reduce, I just wish it was anyone reduced personally.
And you could just gain the benefits from anyone.
But it is good because as a warlock, you will be dealing a lot of damage. And to be able to like get those temporary hit points in the middle of a fight might save you.
Yeah, and it's your charisma modifier plus your warlock level as well.
And it scales super well. Yeah. Super duper well. Like late game, let's say you have a 5 in charisma and you're level 10.
Totally.
All right, I just reduced that. I get 15 temporary hit points.
Totally.
That's a lot of temporary hit points.
Love that.
So good.
Love that. At 6th level, you get something called Dark One's Own Luck. You can call on your patron to alter fate in your favor. When you make an ability check or a saving throw, you can use this feature to add a d10 to your roll. You can do so after seeing the initial roll, but before any of the roll's effects occur. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest.
Good.
Yeah.
Being able to just add a D10. A D10's a pretty big dice.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
You know, it's just like your own personal better bardic inspiration.
Yeah, totally.
Until bardic inspiration gets to this point. I wish there was a few more uses. This is the thing with this class. I think everything's good. It could just use just like a little bit more.
Agreed. And you can kind of tell, because this is Player's Handbook.
PHB.
You can definitely tell that there is less compared to the others. Yeah. It's still good, but definitely less.
But I think it's like, this is it. Like, it's nothing's really like, whoa, but it's also like, they're all good options. Being able to like, fuck, I missed that and I needed to hit so it doesn't down my friend. Or doesn't finish off my friend's like last 2 death saves.
Yeah.
I missed the attack, I roll a d10.
It's like
now
consistently good. And you know, you do see the lack of things like your proficiency bonus, etc. I think that's the only thing it's missing,
with
maybe.
Like if I was to run this myself, I would allow them to use it.
Yeah.
Proficiency bonus times per long rest, I think.
Yeah, you know, all of these things are something you can talk to your DM about.
Yeah, I agree.
At 10th level, you get Fiendish Resilience. You can choose 1 damage type when you finish a short or long rest, and you gain resistance to that damage type until you choose a different one with that feature. Damage from magical weapons or silver weapons, ignore the resistance.
I used this so much.
You did use this
like,
so much.
Every time we were going into somewhere new, I was like, oh, we're in somewhere icy, I'll do cold damage. Oh, we're in like the Underdark, I'll do necrotic damage.
Yeah.
Being able to like just pick your resistance. And then if you're like, I don't really know, I'll just go for like slashing or piercing.
Yeah. Always a good shout.
Always a great shout.
Yeah,
always a great shout.
Agreed.
And it made me very tanky.
It did. It really did. And the fact you can do it on a short rest as well.
Yeah.
Like if you know you're going up to a boss fight and you short rest beforehand and you kind of have an inkling as to what they're going to use, that's a great feature.
100%.
That's a great feature.
100%.
And finally, at 14th level, and I feel like this is the main reason a lot of people pick the Fiend Warlock.
Just so good.
It's called Hail Through Hell, baby.
So good. So thematic as well.
When you hit a creature with an attack, you can use this feature to instantly transport the target through the lower planes. The creature disappears and hurtles through a nightmare landscape. At the end of your next turn, the target returns to the space it previously occupied or the nearest unoccupied space. If the target is not a fiend, it takes 10d10 psychic damage as it reels from its horrific experience. And once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a long rest. The fact that you just hit it and you just go,
see you later.
Bye.
There's no save.
Yeah, it just hurls through hell.
If you're just desperate to just get something off the map.
Yeah, oh my god.
Just hit it with an attack, and then you can just use this feature to instantly transport them through the lower planes.
And like until the end of your next turn as well.
The end of your next turn.
Like that could be huge.
That is like a combat altering moment.
Oh my, that's like a life-saving moment.
That's a life-saving moment.
That is a TPK saving moment.
100%. Like the damage is great.
Damage is great. Yeah. Like, I would say the utility to be able to no save.
Just banish them for a round.
You just have to hit them.
Just banish them.
Man,
see you later.
That's insane.
Imagine if you went before it as well.
Oh my god.
Like it misses its turn.
Oh my god.
And then you get your turn again, and then they come back. Oh, it's just so good.
I agree. That is one of the coolest, I think, out of all of them. I love that.
Probably one of the coolest abilities in the entirety of D&D. Okay, I'm just going to teleport you through the lower planes of hell now.
And,
goodbye.
You're going to have such a bad time. You take 10d10 psychic damage.
Like, it was that traumatizing.
It was that awful.
And also, you just get rid of them. It's just a mini banish.
Agreed.
It's just so good. And you literally just have to hit no save.
Love that. Love that.
Come on.
So that's the Fiend. That's the Fiend.
Maybe not the strongest.
No.
Very thematic.
No.
Everything's pretty good.
Yeah.
And it's nice and easy to play.
Yeah.
Like I played this for my first ever class, and it did great for me. Yeah. So, it'll do great for you too.
What do you think? Did you like them? What is there any warlock you would have preferred to hear? Any warlocks you would place above these? Let us know.
Tell me in the comments which one of these is your favorite, and also if we didn't pick your favorite, what your favorite is.
Please do. Please do. So, we don't have really too much more to get through. The only thing with a warlock is, like I said, there's Eldritch Invocations and there's Pact Boons as well. So we'll quickly go through some of the Eldritch Invocations that we would suggest. Now, like we said, there's 54 of them. Right?
So, no, you aren't getting all of them.
The ones that you pick are probably going to be because of what subclass you pick. So these are more generic ones, right?
Yeah, we're going to go for some, there's some that you absolutely will not pick if you are not a hexpert.
Totally.
There are some that you absolutely will not pick if you're a certain type of warlock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, they are... The reason there's so many of them is because, it's like, this is built for this subclass.
Exactly.
This is built for this subclass. So we're going to go through our absolute ride or dies, no matter which warlock we play. We're going to pick these.
Totally.
And then, you can custom that from where you go.
And you get your Eldritch Invocations at 2nd level, and I think you start off with 1, but it goes up how many you can have, right?
Yeah, and you end up with quite a few.
Yeah,
and you can change them out every level. So if one didn't work for you,
you can
change it out.
Yeah,
I would be more than happy to, if you're a dungeon master here and your warlock's having a little whinge about it. I would be more than happy for a warlock to switch them out on a long rest.
Yeah,
it makes the warlock a little bit like they are a little bit restricted.
Yeah,
so giving them invocation swaps. Maybe they realized they weren't going to do something. And it's like, I wish I had this now. That is like a little quality of life that I would allow them to have personally.
Totally agreed. So, the first one, I wonder if you're going to be surprised. It's Agonizing Blast.
What?
Of course it is.
What do you mean it's Agonizing Blast?
Of course it's Agonizing Blast. Of course it is. So, the prerequisite to Agonizing Blast is that you have to have the Eldritch Blast cantrip. Let's face it.
You're going to have it.
You're going to have it. So when you hit with Eldritch Blast, when you cast Eldritch Blast, add your charisma modifier to the damage that it deals on a hit. Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you? Simply, why wouldn't you?
So I said earlier, I think I messed up, because I said earlier when it came to Genie's Wrath.
Yes, you can add it to...
You can deal extra damage with proficiency bonus. So that means you go, oh my god. So every time you hit with an Eldritch Blast, you're going to be doing, like, let's just say... Charisma mod.
And proficiency bonus.
So, like, you could potentially be doing, like, 7-8 extra damage on top of the damage that your Eldritch Blast does. Oh my god, that's consistent damage. That is consistent damage.
That really is.
That is really consistent damage.
You can see why that's a ride or die.
That's
honestly.
a ride or die.
You can. So, the next invocation we suggest is Armor of Shadows, and you can cast Mage Armor on yourself at will without expending a spell slot or material components.
So, you definitely wouldn't take this if you were a Hexblade. Because your AC is going to be better than this. But if you're just like a normal armor-wearing Warlock,
simple armor-wearing,
this is going to be great at early levels. Really great.
Mage Armor, I feel like, in so many situations, is a must.
It lasts 8 hours.
Which
is just, you just say to your DM, just think every single day I get up, I cast it on myself.
Me, this is exactly what I do with Rayla.
There's things that I like to do with this for my players. Like, you don't have to tell me, because I'm more than happy for you to just be like,
just do it.
Every day I cast it.
Yeah.
Because that's what I took it for. I take it because I want my AC to be this amount.
Yeah. And you don't expend a spell slot, which, a finite is a Warlock.
Which is great. And to have such a great benefit for not being able to spend it, I just think it's such a great use of an invocation.
Agreed. So very much agreed. The next one is Devil's Sight. This is what we mentioned before.
This is what we mentioned before with the Tiefling.
You can see normally in darkness, both magical and non-magical, up to a distance of 120 feet.
This is the strat.
Yep, go on.
This is the
Give
strat.
him the strat.
This is the like one of the first cheeses. I think it's like an age-old cheese.
It is.
You play Tiefling. You take Devil's Sight as your invocation. You put Darkness down at 5th level, and then you just blast things with advantage because you are hidden.
Yep.
So
and you can see where they are.
And they get disadvantage on you because they don't know where you are.
Yep.
So, like, it's just such a great strat.
It is.
Until you fight things that have true sight.
Yeah, of course. of course. And 120 feet is huge. That's
huge.
That's
so
huge.
Good.
That's huge. The next invocation is called Eldritch Mind. You have advantage on Constitution saving throws that you make to maintain your concentration on a spell. Free Warcaster.
Just free Warcaster. Just don't take Warcaster and take that free upper feet.
Totally.
It's just so strong.
Yeah.
It's just so strong.
So strong.
So
because let's face it,
strong.
You're probably going to be concentrating on something as a Warlock.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is lose concentration on one of your 2 spells.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to just summon Greater Demon every fight.
Yeah.
And to have the concentration, because if you lose concentration,
the demon goes loose.
It just attacks whatever it wants.
Yeah, I lost control of the demon.
Like, it is because I used to play World of Warcraft as a kid.
Yeah.
Like, Warlock to me was you have the demon. So I just desperately all I wanted to do was just summon loads of demons as well.
Yeah, totally. So again, a great one. A really great one. A staple. And the next one is Fiendish Vigor. You can cast False Life on yourself at will as a 1st level spell without expending a spell slot or material components.
I use this all the time.
Yeah, and it's the at will.
Yeah.
So you can use it whenever as a 1st level spell slot no spell slot, no material components. And False Life, am I right in thinking it gives you temporary hit points?
It's like 1d4 or 2d4. But it's like at early levels, this is so strong.
Yeah, it is. It really is.
At those like first handful of levels,
yes.
These like those minor margins are what you really play within.
Totally.
So to just have a couple of extra hit points, unless your group has a way of giving you temporary hit points.
Yeah.
Because temporary hit points do not stack.
Yeah.
So if there's a better way of getting temporary hit points from somebody else in your party, this becomes completely invaluable. Completely useless.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Agreed. But again, this is probably something you'll switch out at later levels. But,
yes,
but still, really, really good.
Powerful early level.
The next one is Repelling Blast. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 10 feet away from you in a straight line.
Amazing.
And then the counterpart to this, which we mentioned, is a Grasp of Hadar. And when you hit a creature with the Eldritch Blast, you can move that creature in a straight line 10 feet closer to yourself. So there's push and the pull.
Push and the pull. Then if you are the Dow Genie, you get to do bludgeoning damage with Crusher, so that moves up to 15 feet.
Yeah, wild.
You just got to be like 15 feet.
15 feet is huge.
Without 15, 10 feet still great.
10 feet is still huge.
It's like on each of your turns, so you only get to do it once per turn, which is good. But then I think if you get the 10 feet, and then you get the Crusher of like 5 feet, it doesn't say that you couldn't separate them. So it's like you could move them like 10 feet back and to the left. Or like 10 feet back and 10 feet back and 5 to the right. It becomes quite useful.
It does. It really does.
Forced movement in D&D is really strong.
It really, really, really is.
And then just pair with your druid to put spike growth down and just be like 10 feet, which is what? 44. It's 4d4, isn't it?
It's 1d4 per 5 feet, isn't it?
So that would be 2d4.
Or maybe it's 2d4.
And then 3d4 with the last bit of movement.
Yeah.
It's so good.
It is. It is really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And again, if nothing else, then to break up like attacks of opportunity so someone can get away or you can get away. Yeah. So those are the invocations that we're a big fan of.
Ride or dies.
Those are the ride or dice for warlocks, of course. There is specific invocations for specific subclasses, but
like you're picking Thurston Blade if you're
of course,
to be able to get an extra attack and something, and like there's so many that are just specific to subclasses.
Absolutely.
So I would take a look at all of them.
Do.
There is 54.
There's 54.
So prepare yourself. Sit down, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be reading for a while.
It's going to be there for a while, but yeah, take a look. But those are our suggestions.
They are our suggestions.
So the Pact Boons, and these are kind of like the last of like the things that warlocks specifically get, right? So there's 4 actually.
There's 4
different Pact Boons.
Yes, there is.
So the first one is called Pact of the Blade. So with Pact of the Blade, you can use your action to create a pact weapon in your empty hand. You can choose the form that this melee weapon takes each time you create it, and you are proficient with it while you wield it. And this weapon counts as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical damage and attacks and damage. So again, you can see where this is going. This is definitely for the Hexblades out there.
Because does it just not give you it as a Hexblade? It gives you proficiency in the weapon, and
I guess you can conjure up your pact weapon as well, can't you?
What I think is they put this in,
and
then obviously in Xanathars they brought
then
a Hexblade,
they created the Hexblade,
and then this just sort of became useless.
Yeah, because then again, it's like your pact weapon disappears if it's more than 5 feet away from you.
Yeah.
You can transform one magic weapon into your pact weapon by performing a special ritual while you hold the weapon. You must perform it over the course of 1 hour, which can be done during a short rest. A short rest.
Woo, short west.
And then you can dismiss the weapon, shunting it into extra dimensional space, and it appears whenever you create the pact weapon thereafter. You can't affect an artifact or a sentient weapon in this way. The weapon ceases to be a pact weapon if you die. So that's kind of like the abridged version of it.
Like you can take this and have it for like the thing is, why would my issue with this is it's just not as good as Eldritch Blast.
Well, yeah.
It's just not as good as Eldritch Blast. So I just don't understand why you would use it, because the only time you would ever really use a weapon as a warlock is if you're a Hexblade.
Yeah.
So I think they brought this in thinking like we might expand on this, and then they expanded on it,
and then they
basically just made it useless because you don't need this to be a Hexblade.
Yeah.
Do you?
No, because you get it.
You get proficiency.
Yeah,
like
because you get it and you can make your own.
With the Eldritch Warrior, you gain proficiency in medium armor shields and martial weapons.
Yeah, and then you can also create your own weapon.
And you get to add your charisma modifier instead of
yeah.
So, like, I just don't understand what the point of the Pact of the Blade is. But that's a lie. That's a lie. The whole point of the Pact of the Blade is you needed to take the good invocations.
Oh my god, yes.
That's the reason.
Oh my god,
that's
yes.
the reason.
Yes,
Sorry,
you're so right.
My brain just I knew, I just forgot.
You're so right. Again,
so like, Thirsting Blade, and there's another great one later down the line that lets you like add necrotic damage to it.
Yeah. There's another one.
There's a few good ones.
Yeah, there is.
Need the Pact of the Blade to get the invocations.
Yes, yeah.
But it's like,
yeah.
Then it just feels bad because then you're just picking it just to get them, whereas they should just sort of be allowed. But I get it. I get it.
I realized we didn't talk about Mask of Many Faces in Invocations as well.
Unless you're a changeling, take Mask of Many Faces.
Yeah, Mask of Many Faces.
Fantastic for roleplay.
You can cast a disguise self on yourself at will, which is great without spending a spell slot again. Don't know why we didn't write that down.
Just because we forgot.
Yes.
We simply forget things sometimes. We simply forgot. There's a lot of information.
Yes. God, especially with a warlock.
Yeah.
You're right. I don't know why I said this is for Hexblade because...
But it is. No, you are right, because you need it to take the good invocations.
Yeah.
So it is.
You could argue that you could still play a Hexblade without those invocations, though, really.
Yeah, you could, but like you wouldn't get a second attack.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Like the whole point is when you get to 5th level, you get an invocation that you can only take if you've got the prerequisite
of Pact of the Blade,
which allows you to get extra attack with your Pact weapon, which, if you didn't, your damage would fall off.
Oh my god, 100%. Yeah, absolutely 100%. So that's Pact of the Blade.
Yes, it is.
I would say purely for the invocation.
Purely for the Hexblade, really. There is other circumstances where you can, but,
Yeah. And there is Pact of the Chain.
Yes.
So you learn the Find Familiar spell and you can cast it as a ritual. And the spell doesn't count towards your number of spells known, which is great.
Awesome.
When you cast the spell, you can choose one of the normal forms for your familiar or one of the following special forms: an imp, a pseudo-dragon, a quasit, or a sprite. Cute.
All cute. Very cute.
Cute. And additionally, when you take the attack action, you can forego one of your own attacks to allow your familiar to make one attack with its reaction. So...
Find Familiar is always... The thing is, Find Familiar is just really useful.
Oh,
it's super duper useful.
So many situations in which Find Familiar is useful.
Scouting and infiltrating.
Yeah.
Like, it's really, really, really useful.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it can, like, help action and things like that to give you advantage.
Yes.
And, you can... It depends. None of the attacks are particularly strong, so I probably wouldn't end up doing that.
Mm-mm.
I definitely think Pact of the Chain is more used for, like, scouting ahead.
Totally.
Instead of one person, like, failing it... The dog's underneath. Yeah.
Oh no!
It's okay. Somebody going in and potentially like failing a stealth check and then being in trouble. Your familiar can do the same thing.
Yes.
So I think it is really useful.
Agreed. I know a lot of people like Pact of the Chain as well.
Loads of people like Pact of the Chain. Yeah. Loads of people like having
the familiar
companions.
Yeah, I agree.
That's a really, really common thing to love in D&D.
Yeah, totally. I completely agree. So that's Pact of the Chain.
Pact of the Chain.
Pact of the Tome. Your patron. Your patron gives you a grimoire called the Book of Shadows. When you gain this feature, choose 3 cantrips from any class spell list. The 3 needn't be from the same list. While the book is on your person, you can cast those cantrips at will, and they do not count towards your number of cantrips known. If they don't appear on the Warlock spell list, they are nonetheless Warlock spells for you. Why is it worded like this?
Some things in 5e are especially in PHP, not worded well.
They needn't be from the same list.
Needn't be?
And they are nonetheless. Why word it like that? What?
Wizards, what are you doing?
What the fuck? So you basically can get 3 extra cantrips from any spell list, basically. And if you lose your Book of Shadows, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony to receive a replacement from your patron.
Always good.
It can be performed during a short or long rest, and it destroys the previous book, and the book turns to ash when you die.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's...
Like, get yourself message.
Yeah.
Get yourself guidance.
Yeah, totally.
Like the cantrips that are just so amazing that you just don't get access to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like guidance is busted. Like,
yeah. Guidance is great. Yeah.
D4 for skill checks is great. Message is so useful.
Yeah, totally.
Like I think it's just so great to be able to maybe just get the cantrips that make you as a warlock more useful.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that.
Absolutely. And then finally, Pact of the Talisman. Your patron gives you an amulet, a talisman that can aid the wearer when need is great. When the wearer fails an ability check, they can add a d4 to the roll, potentially turning the roll into a success. This benefit can be used a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus, and all expended uses are restored when you finish a long rest. And again, if you lose the talisman, you can perform a 1-hour ceremony, and it turns to ash when you die.
Super useful.
Yeah, again,
super useful.
It's like a baked-in guidance.
It's just a mini guidance that you just get a number of times equal to a proficiency bonus.
Yeah, and again, see, you're seeing the proficiency bonus
because
here.
This was added in later.
Yeah.
This was the only one that was added in.
Yeah.
The Unearthed Arcana, another thing, but it never actually got brought into the game.
Yeah.
But this is also the only one that hasn't made it into 1D&D.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Yeah, I did think that. It's only the 3 going into 1D&D.
But, all of the others, Tome, Familiar, whatever it's called, Pact with the Chain, and Blade all just got so much better.
They really did.
Like,
they really did.
They're okay. They're really just prerequisites for better invocations.
Exactly.
Like the buff to the Pact of the Tome one, the Book of Shadows that you get is fucking insane.
Yeah.
And the Thirsting Blade and things like that.
Yes.
These are really just prerequisites for which better invocations you can get later
Absolutely.
on. Really.
So our advice is when you're picking your boon, do take a look at the invocations and decide which of those you would like. And, obviously, do whatever you like.
If you Hexblade, I would probably go Pact of the Blade.
Absolutely.
After that, if you want a familiar, that's fine. But I genuinely believe that the Book of Shadows is definitely
Pact of the Tome.
Definitely, is probably the best one.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would say I think for most situations that's probably the best one. Obviously, unless Hexblade, unless you want a companion.
Yeah.
So do whatever you want. But that's the Pact, isn't it?
That's the Pact. You made your Pact.
Yeah? Anything else?
No, I'm just asking.
I thought you were exclaiming.
Tell me your favorite Pact in the comments.
Yeah.
Tell me the crazy things that you did with Pact of the Tome.
Yeah.
Tell me all the good things that you do. I'd love to hear what people do because this is just what we do. So it's nice to hear
absolutely.
Like the busted combos that people came up with.
How different people would do it.
I just love it. That's just D&D.
Agreed.
Just so good.
Agreed. So the stats. This is the penultimate. This is the second to last thing we're going to go over.
The pinnacle.
The pinnaclety. Some would say. So this is your stats. Now, there's so many different ways to do stats.
So many ways to do this.
We roll stats. That's how we would do it.
Yeah.
But obviously, you can't put the numbers for the stats.
Yeah, because you don't know what you're going to roll.
Yeah, so we're going to go over if you're using standard array as written, or if you do point by.
Yeah. So these are what we suggest if you do those things.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion.
Indeed. And to be honest, they follow pretty much the same structure, which you'll see.
Yeah, they follow a pattern in both of ours here. Charisma is always the top one.
Yeah.
Because that's our spellcasting modifier.
Yes.
That's what's going to dictate our spell save DC, our to hit and everything like that. So we always want that to be the best.
Yep.
But then after that, the two things that we always go for as a warlock is we definitely want Constitution.
Yeah, for health. Helps with your health.
Helps with your concentration.
Yes.
And again, if you only have a limited amount of spells, you're going to want to concentrate on some pretty dope spells.
Definitely.
And you don't want to have to cast it again.
Definitely.
So concentration score is always a big one. And then for us, me and Margaret always say this, people don't value initiative as much as they probably should. Like, initiative can sway the course of battle so
Absolutely.
well. So a good dexterity score to me and Margaret is always very good.
Yeah, but again, that's very personal.
That's very personal. To you, you might like a smart character, so intelligence, or
Indeed.
a wisdom-based character. The only thing that, I can probably confidently say that you don't need as a warlock is strength.
Yeah,
Because, even if you Hexblade, you're not using it for that.
Indeed.
If you want to make a strong warlock, you can. That's completely up to you. But for us, it's charisma, con, and dex.
Yep, definitely.
So,
and again, definitely charisma and con.
100% charisma, no matter what.
The others, you can do
You can put wherever you want.
Yeah.
Constitution's probably my other one that I'm like, you sort of probably should have that.
Yeah. So we've also done these not taking into account racial bonuses because, of course, everything's going to be different with your racial bonuses.
Yeah.
This is what we do. So for standard array, we're going to have charisma 15.
Yeah.
going to have Constitution 14, Dexterity 13, Wisdom 12, Intelligence 10, and Strength 8.
You know it, baby.
Again, you're probably going to go for a race that has a +2 in Charisma, so that's going to mean that you're going to have a 17 Charisma when you start.
Which is sick.
Which is great.
17 Charisma, 1 off an 18.
Yeah.
Half beat at level 4, you're 18.
Exactly.
Pretty good.
Like, that's setting you up, like, from the get-go to be strong. Especially in the limitations of what you have with standard array and your race and everything. And especially if you've gone for something like a changeling where you can put it in something else, you could go either put another one in your dex to have a +2 in dex, or you could put the other one in con, so then
You're
next level you're 1 off.
So then you're only half feet away from another round up.
Yeah, also all sorts of options there.
Yeah.
But that is what we would do if you're using standard array. Now for point buy, to be honest, it's pretty much the same.
Yeah.
So your charisma is going to be 14. 15, pardon me. Your dex is going to be 14, constitution is 14, intelligence is 10, wisdom is 10, and strength is 8.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's also what I would do.
Because, yes, I wouldn't be good at, like, perception and things like that. The only thing that you could do is, like, maybe take a bit out of dex or con and put it into intelligence or wisdom.
Agreed.
But, you're already good at social situations.
Absolutely.
Because you've got such great charisma.
Yeah.
So, I do like the 15, 14, 14, 10, 10, 8.
Yeah,
like,
me too.
I do like that. So
Me too.
That's where I would put mine if it was point buy as well.
Absolutely. And again, the biggest takeaway from this is your charisma and your con are probably
the two ones that you're most important to.
Definitely charisma. But it's completely up to you. You play your character however you like. You put your stats in, what matters to you and what skills matter to you.
100%.
And
agree.
The same applies for rolling stats.
Yep.
So finally,
the
last thing we're going to talk about for the Warlock is what feats we would recommend.
What feats? Feats are beautiful.
Feats are great.
I love feats.
I love feats.
Like, actual feats.
Actual peats.
Feet are fine.
Little biscuits.
That's your thing. That's fine. I mean feats.
Feats, baby.
Feats,
Features.
Baby. Feats.
So
traits and shit.
So you can either take a feature or you can either take a feat or an ASI. You get them at 4th level, 8th level, 12th level, 16th level, and 19th level.
Correct.
Feats are optional, but I would say the majority of tables do use feats.
Yes, they are an option. Unbelievably, they're an optional rule.
Yeah,
which I think they'll just become a standard thing in 1D&D.
Agreed. So the first feat we would recommend, it's Warcaster. It's Warcaster. Oh my god, you okay?
I choked on my spit.
No, have a little drink. Oh, there he goes.
Unless you take the Eldritch Mind Invocation.
You take a minute. You want me to clap us out?
No, we're okay. I would always take Warcaster unless I take Eldritch Mind.
Yes,
because the
agreed.
Thing is,
Agreed.
Yes, you can. It's like with Warcaster. Yes, breaking attack of opportunity and being able to cast a spell is good.
It's great. Yeah.
But I think the reason you take it is really for the concentration advantage.
Absolutely.
So to be able to get that with an invocation, I would take the invocation and put it elsewhere. But if you don't take the invocation, if you don't play with, I think it came in Tasha's Eldritch Mind. If you don't play with Tasha's, this is the way you get the advantage of the concentration checks. 100%.
Either way, very important to get advantage on your concentration checks.
Yeah.
Regardless of which way you do it. But yeah, there's two different avenues for it, honestly.
Yeah. If it's not Eldritch Mind, it's this. If it's not this, it's Eldritch Mind.
Yeah, and again, the opportunity attack thing is good.
It's nice.
And if that's something you prioritize, then yes, of course, go Warcaster as well.
Yeah.
That's completely up to you. The next one is called Shadow Touch.
Yes.
So if this is a half feat, so that means you can increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma score by 1 to a maximum of 20.
Nice.
Again, put that wherever you want.
Yeah.
Arguments to be made that it's going to be best in charisma, but of course that's up to you.
Yeah.
You learn the invisibility spell and one first level spell of your choice from the illusion or the necromancy school of magic.
Nice.
And you can cast each of these spells without expending a spell slot, and then you can't use it again until you finish a long rest.
Nice.
And the spell casting ability is the ability increased by the feat.
Yeah, you put the spells here, didn't you?
Yeah, so we'll actually go through these spells because some of them are really fucking good.
Yeah, some of them are really great.
So from the illusion spell list, so you can either get color spray, disguise self, distort value, illusory script, silent image, and I'm not going to read that UA out because
People,
there's no
not a lot
point
of
in reading
people
UA
use
out.
UA, yeah.
Unearthed Arcana, basically. So again, from the illusion spell list, some really good options. Again, if you're not taking Mask of Many Faces, Disguise Self is a great one.
Yeah.
Honestly, Distort Value.
Distort Value is a fantastic role play.
Yeah, yeah.
If you're a little bit of a cheeky sausage
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
want to go in and, I don't know, you found like a nice little magic item and then you go in and you can distort the value of it to be worth more in the eyes of the person that you
And let's
talk
say
to.
you're proficient in Deception as well,
Like,
or Persuasion.
you're going to be...
Totally.
Yeah, I did it in our campaign.
Yes, you did.
Like,
yes, you did.
In the last episode.
Yeah.
And
You got us like 20k on something,
yeah,
I think.
I got like 20,000 gold or something insane, which was great.
Yeah, it was. It was really good.
Silent Images always good and things like that, and Minor Illusion, things like that.
Yeah.
But I think the juice is over
on the Necromancy spell list.
Yes.
So this is the Necromancy spell list.
Yeah.
You can get Cause Fear, False Life, Inflict Wounds, or Ray of Sickness.
I'm picking
Inflict Wounds. It's Inflict Wounds. It's Inflict Wounds.
Influence? I just said Influence. Inflict Wounds is such a great spell.
Agreed. I am picking Inflict Wounds every single time. To be fair, Cause Fear.
Cause Fear is good.
Yeah, agreed. But it's Inflict Wounds, isn't it, really?
Wounds, and, you know, I just love the idea of, like, using my free invisibility to just walk right up through the battlefield as my friends are fighting, and I just walk up to the guy that I need, and I suddenly just appear next to him
and just Inflict Wounds.
Inflict Wounds.
Yep, agreed.
I love it.
I love that.
I love it.
I love that. And it's a free cast as well. Again,
free cast of invisibility is so strong.
Oh my
to like
God.
Get the jump on something or get like a surprise on something.
Yeah. And you can actually use these with your spell slots as well.
Yeah.
But you know, that's completely up to you.
I don't think that invisibility is something that I wouldn't use a spell slot on. So
yeah,
like,
I agree.
That is a great spell.
I agree.
I love invisibility. I think invisibility is so strong in D&D.
I agree. And you know, things like False Life you can get if you take some invocations as well.
So I wouldn't pick that. I would just get my invocation to do that for me.
But yeah, that's a nice half feat.
Yeah.
Really nice half feat.
Yeah.
I would definitely take this. I love the Shadow Touch and Fey Touch. They're my favorite feats in the game.
Fey Touch is obviously another honorable mention. Misty Step for free.
Misty Step.
So good. And then
again, you get spells from the Divination or Enchantments.
And you can
spell
still
list.
up your charisma with it as well.
Yeah, you can get Hex. Oh, you get Hex as well. Anyway, you know, there's options. There's options. And then finally, the last one we suggest is actually Spell Sniper.
Spell Sniper.
So when you cast a spell that requires you to make an attack roll, the spell's range is doubled. That is fucking 240 feet of Eldritch Blast, baby.
240 feet of Eldritch Blast. You don't need to be anywhere near.
No, you don't.
You're at home helping.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Because you can just shoot from that far away.
You're cooking your tea and you're casting Eldritch Blast on someone from 240
just
feet
started
away.
blasting.
Yep, indeed. Your ranged spells your ranged spell attacks ignore half cover and 3/4 cover. Again, great.
Like, I use cover a lot in my games.
Yeah, you do.
Like, in a lot of environment is cover. Like, you can hide behind trees, you can do this, you can block yourself as much as you can.
Mm-hmm.
So to be able to be like, I ignore all cover, even if something is like heavily obscured, I can still blast it from 240 feet away.
Nice.
Which is great.
Nice. And then finally, you learn one cantrip that requires an attack roll. You can choose it from the Bard, Cleric, Druid, Sorcerer, Warlock, or Wizard spell list. And the spell casting ability for the cantrip depends on what class you took it from.
Bard and Sorcerer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wisdom for Cleric, etc., etc.
Still good. Always getting more cantrips is good.
Yep.
Imagine if you pair this with the Tome.
Oh my God.
So many cantrips.
So many cantrips.
Which makes you really useful.
Yeah, it does. It truly does. And, you know, this one specifies it has to be an attack roll, right?
Yeah.
But still, there's so many cantrips with attack rolls. So there's, again, a really great one.
I still think you're definitely taking this for the distance and for the cover. Probably not for the last bit.
No.
Those two are
and
really
you're probably taking either Warcaster or Shadow Touch over Spell Sniper as well, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But again, it's completely up to you.
Yeah,
there are
just
so many options.
And
that's it.
That's it. For you fucking edgelords out there.
Edgelord, Warlock mains.
I need how to play Warlock. I need how to play Warlock. I need to be an edgelord.
We love edgelords
We love an
here.
edgelord.
An edgelock.
You're welcome. The Eldritch Pod Edge.
Yeah, we love
the
a Warlock.
Edge-rich Podblast.
Whoa. Wow.
I can't believe I read Eldritch Podblast and tried to change blast to edge, not Eldritch.
Well, you know. Oh, so there you go. That's
another one ticked off.
Yeah, that's our recommendations on how to build a warlock.
We've played Druid.
Yeah, we've done Druid.
We've played Warlock.
Done Warlock.
We're not doing Artificer.
No, we're not doing Artificer.
we might do Artificer. If we take out Warlock and it's between Bloodhunter and Artificer,
yeah.
I'll let you pick.
Yep. Yeah, I think it's actually between Ranger as well.
And Ranger.
We'll put up another poll that has the 3 runners up after this.
Yes.
And if you vote for Artificer, you're banned.
I can't win. The next one will be Artificer.
It's definitely going to be Artificer.
It's like Squad Blasters all over again. You know,
I know,
I know. And now it's on the back of this t-shirt.
I know.
And we're going to lean against Artificer and the community's going to be like, do Artificer.
I know. And then we're going to read Artificer. I'm going to be like, do I love Artificers now?
Can I play an Artificer?
Man, no, that's not going to happen. So yeah, we'll put up a poll
The armor
again.
Artificer's really cool.
Yeah. Actually, I will put up the poll as soon as this video goes live. So the poll should be live now.
Yeah.
As of right now.
So
let us know what you want us to talk about next.
Yeah.
Please. We hope that helped.
Yeah, we hope that helped. If you're thinking about playing a Warlock, I hope this helps you make some of those crucial decisions. Because I know building the character there's a lot of things. You like look over a bajillion guides and they're like, this is the only way to play a Warlock. And it's like, that's not true.
No.
That's not true.
I think we want to make it clear that the overarching advice we want to give is play however you want.
These are just some... If you were going to build a relatively strong, cohesive character, you can't fall off with any of these picks.
But there is nothing wrong with going the complete opposite. There's nothing wrong with it. If you prioritize what you're going to have fun with, what sounds thematic to you, what works with your backstory... Power isn't the most important thing.
No, it's not.
It really isn't. As long as you're not absolutely sandbagging, because that's a completely different topic.
That's a completely different topic, yeah. And if you are sandbagging, that can be a detriment.
It can be a detriment, definitely.
Like, if you were just thinking about playing Warlock and you were like, there's so many options, what do I pick? Here's just some recommendations.
Yeah, totally.
You know, if you pick any of these things, you'll come out at the end with a relatively cohesive, relatively strong character.
Indeed.
And then you can just you can have the backstory, like, you can put all the effort into that because this has made all the choices for you.
Yeah, and I'm certain there'll be people in the comments giving some really good suggestions.
Please do.
If you've been in the watch party, we host watch parties every single episode on our Discord where we watch it with the community and they're good fun.
Jump in the Discord on a Monday and a Thursday. As soon as the episode goes live, we will be watching the episode with you.
Loads of really good, healthy discussion going on in the watch party about all these things.
And loads of fucking trash talk as well. Yeah. Just about fucking life and stuff. Indeed. It's great. I love getting to sit with the Squaddy Bees and just having a chat.
Me too.
Twice a week.
Me too. Very, very much so.
It's amazing.
So that's your lot.
That's your lot. That's your fill.
It's under 2 hours.
Wow.
What do you think?
Only just.
Like
1 hour and 52 minutes on that clock.
Yeah. Well, we had a little break. We had a small break in between.
Yeah, we did.
No, cut it. Anyway.
Well,
my tummy hurt.
And we won't say anymore.
No, nothing else. So that's it. We hope you enjoyed.
It's been a blast. It's been an Eldritch blast.
Oh my god, yeah, it has.
I've enjoyed it.
Me too.
I always love these. I just fucking, it's just cracking it.
Just good crack.
I just enjoy doing it.
Good crack. We really hope you enjoy these Beyond the Character Sheet episodes.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. You seem to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love you.
Mwah.
Mwah.
Roll them out.
Please hit the like button below if you like the video. If you liked it enough, consider subscribing. It is free. The bell button down below lets you know when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday, and it helps if you do ring that. It makes YouTube be like, ooh.
Oh, people like them.
And you know, we've had a lot of suggestions here. Give us your suggestions. Give us your favorite picks that we've given in the comments below.
Please vote in the polls.
If you want, join the Discord. The invite link is also below. In the description, there is also a link to our submission form. If you want to talk about anything on there, please do. Pick up a t-shirt. Go to Hellbound Dice to pick up any other things that we sell on there. That's all my shills. I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you. And we will see you on Monday. Bye.